What's up, guys? It's extremely good here. Not that I'm good at the game, I fucking suck. But I had a couple of things to say about this post that Whitmer made on ESEA regarding the relegation system on ESEA after they lost their match to Winterfox, and like I thought like I could give a whole another perspective on the situation. Not that you guys fucking care, but I'm gonna fucking say it anyway. So okay, so Whitmer posted this after they lost their match to Winterfox on how he didn't think the relegation system made any sense, that it's kind of flawed. And there was this one paragraph that he wrote that I think is the best point that he brought up in this whole text he typed up. So he says there are a few other points to be made, that the rules changed mid-season and that entering the Premier Division, the Premier teams had an entirely different expectation as to what victory would provide. But I digress. ESEA has proven time and time again they can make changes as they see fit, whenever they want, whatever. Okay, so this I think was the strongest point that he made out of all this stuff that he wrote. Okay, so the change was made mid-season, and the change he's talking about was this change, which was titled "Changes to the Pro League Relegation System." And over here, it said, at the end of each division, the league administration will add a new team to the Pro League division, which will be either a wildcard team chosen by the administration to replace the auto-relegated team, or the team which places first in the Premier Division. Okay, so when I read this, I was like, that really doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you just pick a random team and put them in the Pro Division, and then the people who actually won the Premier Division, like, what happens then? And some guy actually brought that point up. I think it was, okay, this guy says, what does that mean, that if someone wins the Premier Division and they choose Renegades, you don't get moved up to Pro? And that was a really good point. Like, what happens then? And then Scream says they will be placed into relegation matches. And it's like, well, hold on. So you're telling me that you can pick a random team, put them in the Pro Division, and then because of you decided to go with the wildcard team, the team that actually won the Premier Division has to play a relegation match. And it's like, well, that really doesn't, that makes no sense. Like, how can you do that? Like, I don't think that makes any sense. But that's the ACA. So okay, hold on. Okay, so I think this whole situation is should be blamed on the Premier teams. Like, yeah, you guys can come up with the rule, but I think they had the power to get ESEA to actually change it. And this goes to the Pro Division as well as the Premier. I think the two divisions, after reading this, should have done something to get ESEA to change this, because this makes no sense. Because what ended up happening was a team ended up getting fucked over by it, which was Denial. Like, this whole text proves that. Like, he's really upset about how this whole thing went down, and I think part of the blame should go to Denial and all the teams that were in the playoffs, at least for the Premier Division, because essentially any four of them could have won the Premier Division, and then they would have had to deal with this stuff. And in the whole idea of the relegation match then doesn't even make any sense, because in my opinion, I think any team in the Premier Division, even if they win it, so they win the Premier Division, they're number one. If they were to play the bottom Pro League Division team, I still think that match still favors the Pro League team. Even though they were last place, I still think they have way more experience and way more. They're used to higher level play than this Premier team is used to. So, like, how can ECA think that's a fair way to judge who makes it into the Pro League, is to have them play BO3? And I don't think that makes a lot of sense. But what I think, they shouldn't have played that match. Like, I think Denier should have complied with the rule. I think they should have been like, okay, because the rule was released. When was this posted? It was posted November 3rd, 2015. So this was before. This was before. Yeah, it was before the last match that Denial played, and also before the playoffs happened. So what I think should have happened was this teams that made the playoff in the Premier Division. I think they should have been like, okay, guys, listen. any four of us could win this, and if that ends up happening, we might get put in a relegation match when we should get automatic entry. So I think we shouldn't play this. We shouldn't participate in this playoffs at all till this rule gets changed. Because then, well, you guys are saying, well, that makes no sense. Well, they ended up playing the playoffs. Denial won it. ESEA picked the wildcard team, and now Denial lost the relegation match versus Winterfox, and they're back to square one. They're right back where they started. So like, why? I think they should have I think they should have not played the matches, and start some kind of a riot. I don't know that it's a riot, but like gotten like the teams to get together and like do something. Get some of the pro teams to do something as well, because this goes to people or rather gamers or teams just complying with whatever the league sets, even when they disagree with it. They're like, okay, well, if the league wants us to do it, let's just fucking do it. No, you guys have a choice in the matter. Like, you're one of the reasons why ESEA is as big as it is. You can't just have them make rules, read the rules, disagree with the rules, and then comply with the rules. That makes no sense. At some point you got to be like, okay, hold on a second, this makes no sense. You guys need to change this, and teams need to come together and like force this change. Because if no one does it, it's just gonna keep going on and going on. And because what's gonna end up happening now is the next team that wins the Premier Division would have to suffer the same fate that Denial went through, and I just don't think that's fair. Because either way you put it, when you're like talking about two divisions, in the Pro League divisions, every single team there just automatically has way more experience than the Premier Division teams. Like they're just used to way more higher level play. So if you were to put the last place in the Pro League division and the first place in the Premier Division, I think the Pro League is favored on paper to win that match. Like that's just my thinking, and that's exactly what ended up happening here. Denial lost 2-1 to Winterfox, and they're right back where they started. That doesn't seem fair. It's like if you win your division, you're not supposed to be playing that division over again. That doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to move on to something higher, something better, and that's exactly why Whitmer felt this way. But I think he has to take some of the blame, along with some of the premier teams that were involved in the playoffs, and also the pro teams, because they're the ones who have the power to get ESEA to change rules like these. They're the, like, without them, ESEA doesn't have a business. Without us, the players, gaming organizations have no business. Like, we're the ones who get them rich. Without us, they have nothing. Like, ESEA, like, they like to act like they don't need us. Like, they're like, oh, we're just gonna make this rule change. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. But we're the reason why you're as big as you are. Without us, you're nothing. That's how it works. So, like, I don't know. I'm just going to stop here before I bury myself into a goddamn hole. But that's just what I think. I think we have to start making some noise to get these stupid rules changed. Because I don't see how you can just be like, oh, we're just going to randomly pick a team and put them in the Pro Division. But the team that won the Premier Division gets to play relegation. Well, that makes no sense. I mean, someone was saying that they think the wildcard team should be the one to play the relegation match. And that actually does make sense. Like, you can't win your division and then end up playing the division again just because you lost one BO3. That makes no sense. That's just the way I see it. Like, again, I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to fucking have myself chopped, put myself on the chopping block. But yeah, that's just my perspective on it, guys. I would like to know what you guys think. If you think I'm retarded, just post that. I don't mind. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.